Hello, everyone.
Hello. What's up? This is Johannes speaking. I'm one of the Saab graduates today, and we're gonna start out with this hangout together with you guys. And we're gonna introduce the program a little bit, talk about it, give our personal impressions of the program so far.
Yeah, and I'm Ebba.
And I'm Johanna.
Johanna.
Yes.
Yeah. And today we're using Google Hangout for the first time, so it's a trial for us. And you guys can ask questions in the chat to the right. And
we will make our best to answer them.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we'll keep talking just like some kind of podcast. And if you have questions, you can ask them on the way, and you can try to affect our direction when we talk.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's start.
Absolutely. So should we start to present ourselves a little bit?
Yeah, we can do that.
We
can do that.
Okay,
Oh,
start.
Yeah, okay, start.
Yeah.
My name is Johannes Skygge, and I'm soon 26 years old. And I have just graduated from the Chalmers University of Technology in Gothenburg, where I did industrial engineering management. And I'm right now employed in the Gripen area, in the aeronautical department of Saab, where I'm going to work with the business management and contracts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
A lot of fun. Just want to answer the question there. It's of course allowed to ask questions when we talk. That's the purpose. So just ask as much as you want.
Yes, and we will make the best to pick up
Exactly.
and answer.
So yeah, I'm Ebba, and I work in Stockholm at Group Finance. Yeah, together with Johanna, actually.
Yes, I'm Johanna, and I'm also working in Stockholm at Group Finance.
So we don't belong to a specific business area, so we rotate across the whole company more or less to learn about all different business areas. So it's quite different for us because you belong to a more specific business area.
Yeah. And right now we're sending this broadcast from Linköping, which is the city in Sweden where I live and do most of my rotations and practical work.
Yeah. And it's kind of the aeronautical headquarters.
Yeah.
Right.
It's where the production is made for the Gripen.
Yeah. But should we talk about our backgrounds a little bit? Because
that's a good one.
Yeah.
You might be might be interesting to hear about.
Yeah.
Just shortly.
Yeah. So like I said, I've done an engineering background with the management and innovation as side topics.
Yeah. And I studied in the south of Sweden, in Lund. I don't know if you know it. So I did a bachelor's degree in economics there, and then I studied my master's degree in Copenhagen at Copenhagen Business School. I studied international business. So I have a very broad background, and now I learn a lot about finance because I studied finance before, but it was not my concentration. So I love it.
And actually, even if we didn't know each other from before, I also studied in Lund. I did also my bachelor there and my master in strategic and financial management. And we have a few other friends and colleagues in the graduate program. Maybe we should say what they are doing.
Yeah, we should. We're 10 people in the program.
This year, yeah.
7 Swedes and 3 internationals.
Yes.
Yeah. Should we start with we have Tanika in South Africa.
Yeah.
She's working in communications in Centurion, close to Johannesburg. Then we have
Stuart and Susanne in Australia.
Yeah.
Susanne is working within the marketing and sales, and Stuart is working with contract management and stuff.
Yeah. And they work in Canberra and Adelaide.
Yes.
Yes, and then we have one more person here in Linköping in the Gripen department, who's called Emily.
Yeah, and she works with contract management.
Yes, she works with contract management.
And then we have Elizabeth in Malmö, south of Sweden again. She works at Kockums, the naval side of Saab. She's doing marketing and sales. Who are we forgetting?
And
now?
we have Anna and Victor, two colleagues in Gothenburg working with our radar systems. Yeah. And even if we are two people from finance here, I'm not sure about your background, most of us are actually engineers. And that's quite natural in a company like Saab.
We have a lot of engineers.
A lot of people working here. A lot of the employees are engineers.
Yeah. So each year when we find positions for the graduate program, the backgrounds for the different people can be very different. As you may have noticed when you're looking at the positions that you can apply for. Some of them are engineers or project leaders in technical areas, but it can also be business or management topics that you're going to work with.
Yeah, the positions vary each year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once again, welcome if we have any new listeners. So feel free to ask any questions, what you're wondering about.
I'm Ebba.
Johanna and Johannes.
Yes, and Johannes. Yeah.
But should we speak a little bit about why Saab?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What did we think about when we were applying? Maybe.
Yeah. Why did we apply to this program?
Yeah.
Okay, so at least I knew I wanted to go to apply for graduate programs. So I checked some of the graduate programs out there and realized that Saab's program it's a very individual program, and they invest a lot in you.
Yeah.
I
can just agree.
Yeah. So it consists of different parts: team weeks, individual weeks, and assignment abroad. And we have, at least this year, we have 17 weeks where we are all together in Sweden. And the individual weeks vary a lot.
Yeah.
We have totally different programs. I rotate across the company now, and I visited almost all business areas and different functions within the business areas. And
for me, it was more about the international experiences that you could get during the program, because, like Eva said, part of the program is international task or rotations. So that was really exciting because Saab is a so international company. And now I think we have a question here that is about our work experience, if we have any work experience before.
Yeah.
So this is something that's a bit different from everyone in the group. Some people are coming straight from the university, and some people have a few years of working experience, actually.
For me, before I started to study at university, I worked full-time in a bank for 2 years. And then I decided that I wanted to study, and I worked the same time, like part-time. Parallel to my studies, yes, in the bank also. But apart from that, I don't have any work experience. I graduated in June 2015, and I started here in September. So.
Yeah, I worked parallel to my studies and during summers. So I didn't work for a couple of years or so before applying. But I worked at different companies. I worked in a bank, as a course leader, different things.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the program. We are actually, it is recruiting young people, newly graduates, and I think it's good if you have some experience, maybe 1 year or two, but it's definitely not necessary.
No, not a requirement.
Apply. It's not a requirement. You can apply even if you're at university and don't have any work experience.
So
you will get it here.
What I did in university, I did a lot of side activities in university. I was part of committees, and maybe if you can show to the people that you're applying to that you have some drive on the side, perhaps you're a really sporty person, or you really love your instrument, or you're very dedicated in some kind of activity. If you can present that in your personal letter and in any way, that's also really valuable, just as working experience. I actually
international experience as well.
Yeah, of course,
it's very valuable.
So I also did internship in Mexico for 6 months, where I worked in a production company for lift trucks. So it's very wide what you can do before and what's valuable for that specific position that you're applying for.
That's true.
I know that we have some new viewers now. Welcome. Should we repeat?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
We do a lot of repetitions sometimes.
I'm Ebba.
Yeah.
I'm Johanna.
And this is Johannes, and we're doing the graduate hangout at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw a question over there that said, what has been the most challenging and what has been the most fun? We could take one of them right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe have we had any challenges so far? That
Of course.
yeah.
There is a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Exciting challenges, also mind pushing and
Yeah.
challenging every day, I would say.
Yeah. I think maybe we should talk about the team weeks a little bit, because the team weeks have been a lot of fun, but also challenging. We've been learning a lot and practicing communication skills, presentation, self-awareness, doing a lot of exercises that has been breaks hard sometimes.
You can give examples from that specific course.
Yeah, do that.
We went down to Malmö and we met one psychologist and one actor at the same time for a 2-day course where they wanted us to practice how to present and what to think about when you're going to convince larger crowds or business management groups, which was a lot of direct feedback, and we had to put ourselves out there outside of our comfort zones.
Absolutely.
And that was good for our development.
Yeah, it was.
And also we did role play with the actor in a team week before that, and that was very intense as well, because she was a professional actress and she played very good.
Yeah.
We should say that the role play was about conflict management.
Oh yeah, so she was upset sometimes.
Yes.
So she was very upset, and you need to handle it and make the best of it. And then we always give each other feedback, and you get feedback, and it's so good.
But you really develop both personally and professionally in that way, because
as the graduate program say, it's a leadership program, and leadership is about a lot. It's about leading yourself. It's about leading products and people and change.
And change.
So and that's something that you develop along the program and work on continuously, I would say.
But one thing that is challenging with the program, but also fun at the same time, is that we're traveling around the company. We visit different departments, and it's challenging to always put yourself into that department, how they work, and to be on your to be very energetic at all the time, and really try to learn their way of thinking and putting everything together. So that's really challenging. It takes a lot of energy. So sometimes you're very tired during this program because you have so many impressions.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's fun at the same time. So I think that's a good answer for that question.
Yeah.
And if I should also say something apart from the team weeks, in between the team weeks, we are working individually at different rotations, and then you get assignments and projects to work on. And of course, that's also challenging to deliver in real projects in the real world. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But another fun thing is to meet so much people, and we're building an unbelievable network right now, and that is amazing.
Yeah. So apply to the program, and you can also get the opportunity for that.
Yeah, I've seen a question here that asks about one position in particular, but perhaps we could get more questions that are broader, because sometimes we don't know ourselves exactly what the new positions will be like, because we are working full-time on developing our own positions. But what we can say is that there is one contact person for each of the 12 positions that have been posted this year. And there you can get many answers from those contact persons. And
you can always email graduate@saabgroup.com and ask questions.
Yes, and don't forget that the application period is before the 18th of April. And I think you're well aware of that.
Yeah, that's the deadline. 18th.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the positions, there are 12 of them for next year. They are on the website, and make sure to email any questions.
Yeah, so it's some marketing and sales positions, project management positions, software engineering positions. It's very wide. The portfolio of different opportunities this year is very wide. And what you should remember is that you can apply for several of them because they're all recruited independently. So if you feel that you have a very wide background or a wide interest in many of these positions, apply for all of them if you have the time and energy.
Definitely.
Maybe we should talk a little bit about the recruitment process and how our recruitment process was and how we experienced it.
Sure.
Because they vary as well. It's not the same for all positions.
No.
But they're similar at least.
Yeah.
So, well, you apply via the website and upload your CV and cover letter and other documents, perhaps. And then directly you do a capability test.
Yes. You get the link and you log online and do a capability test.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's about logical things, and
it's
you can say.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just logical.
Yeah. So they want one person here wants to know more in detail about the steps. So I guess it's straightforward that you need a CV and you need a personal letter. Why are you the right person for this position? What is interesting about the company, Saab, and what do you think is special about you that other people in the application process don't have?
Be personal.
Be personal, be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I realized that the process, in my opinion, was extremely personal. Sometimes it felt like they didn't want us to prove that we knew so many things because maybe the education had proved that already, but they wanted to make sure that it was a personality match between the manager and the graduates, and also a match between the company and the graduates, so that you really feel that this is something that you want to do and this is a culture I belong inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after making the capability test, then it was time for an interview by phone.
Yes.
So
true.
for me, I got called up by my HR person. And she asked me questions about why I wanted to work for Saab and what I thought about different things. And
it wasn't it wasn't attack questions. It was more like, how do you feel about this position? And maybe you had the chance to elaborate on your personal letter. Perhaps you forgot to write something, or perhaps you wanted to press on something, or that person wanted to check something because maybe there's something that is extra important for the different positions because there are 12 different ones and different cultures within the company.
Yes,
it's like a conversation.
It was. It was a really nice call. I remember it.
I don't think it was more than 15 minutes actually. It was.
It's 10-15 minutes.
So that's if you want to know more about the call. But you can all post as many questions as you like. We'll try to catch up.
And after the call.
After the call.
Yes. We got invited for. It's a little bit different after that because then you're supposed to get interviewed by your HR and by your recruiting manager. Sorry. And for us, me and Ebba, we got invited to an assessment day in Stockholm, where we got to meet everyone that passed to this step, and we got to have the 2 interviews and meet 4 other peoples working at Saab. Made a little case, and
we did a small case there, but I think that varies as well.
Yes.
Did you do
what was
case?
it for you?
So as you know, there are 12 different positions, all done independently. So there might be some variations, but when I came here to Linköping, there were 5 people that wanted the same position. So that day, it was not really a competition. It was more to make sure that these 5 people, after that, they still wanted to have the position. And it gave a chance for you to learn more about the company and for the managers to learn more about you, to see where is the personal match, the one we're looking for. Because when Saab wants you to be an employee, they want you to be an employee for a long future. They want to make a sustainable long-term decision. So when they meet you, they want to feel that you're dedicated to stay here for a long time. Yeah,
and your personality matches with Saab. Saab's values and culture.
They want you to become a leader in the future. That's why it's called the Saab Graduate Leadership Programme.
So once again, be yourself and think about, is this something for me if you have the opportunity to come to this step in the recruitment process.
But so if it was a good match, you would do a personality test. It's the Hogan personality test. A lot of questions, but just be who you are. And just answer the questions. And then we had an interview after the personality test. Talking about the results and going through the test and the.
And this was once again with HR.
Exactly. And it was also relaxed, the conversation.
So questions about, okay, the test says this. Do you agree with this? Or does the test show anything wrong? So it's actually a clarifying interview where you get to say if you agree or not. Or
exactly. That's true.
What was it for you?
Yeah, it was similar. It's more for you to be able to tell more things about you and your leadership style and see if it's a match to the organization. And maybe it's also a room for development, even though you're not you're not part of the company yet, but they still want to improve your results. Sorry.
Improve your personality.
Improve your personality. No, but develop you. It's all about development during this time.
And know your strengths and weaknesses.
It starts already in the recruitment process.
It does.
Okay.
And after that, we had a second opinion interview with a psychologist.
And this was the scariest step for me, I think, because I've never heard about anything like that. Talking to a psychologist, really? But that was...
I think it's quite common these days.
Really? Okay.
So people have psychologists.
Everyone has their own personal psychologist. No, but it was very relaxed also. It was more about...
I agree.
That
was also just about a conversation, getting to know you a little bit more. Do you know yourself? What do you think? How do you think you would react in situations like these?
And maybe it's easy for us to say now that was easy.
Everything was really easy.
But it was so personal.
And the fun fact is that the psychologist that we met in the recruitment process is actually following us throughout the program. So she's the one who's holding the educations during the team weeks and getting us feedback in individual sessions.
And helping us to develop. It's very good.
It is.
How about we talk about rotations, or how do you manage a program that is controlled by yourself? We as graduates, we are affecting what we're going to do during the year.
I would say that's, I feel that's very unique with the Saab Graduate Programme. Since it's so individual and you really have the possibility to affect it.
I feel that we plan a lot. We plan our own programs more or less.
Because we have our own managers. We have separate managers, more or less. The team, the trainees or the graduates, and we have our own development plans. And the managers, they want us to be at a certain point after the year, and we want to be at a certain point after the year. So together we make some kind of plan with departments that we think we need to visit or skills we need to learn before we jump into our actual positions after the year. And that's a lot of freedom and a lot of possibilities. So it's really hard to choose at times.
In the beginning, it was perhaps a little bit harder to know what I needed to learn and what I wanted to learn. But as the time goes, it's you realize. And then you have the possibility to affect it. So
and now we're halfway through, more or less, and we just feel the time is limited. And we want to do this program forever. There's so much to see, but we see a lot. It's really a unique opportunity to see the company. And
so once again, if you have any questions, just feel free to shoot, write them, and we'll answer them.
But all in all, the positions every year try to spread out across the organization, because we have many different kind of product areas. And some are more. Some positions are more connected to the products, and some are more on an overall level. So you don't really know what's going to happen or what you're going to see during the year. But for me, at least, I had a possibility to see many of the product areas to try to gain an understanding of Saab as a group in general. And some individuals might try to really have a narrow focus to really build up the competences around the positions that they're going to have after the year.
In the future.
So you can have really different strategies, and it's all about who you want to become or what things you enjoy.
Yeah. And you can really affect it yourself. Yeah, but for example, us three, we rotate a lot across the company, and compared to the ones in Gothenburg, for example, they rotate maybe a little bit less and focus more on their future position. So that's up to you.
Yeah.
And
we have a question here. If we remember how long time after the tests we got a phone call, or if I'm understanding the question correctly, but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
After the capability test, I think maybe it was, could it be
a few weeks?
A few weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks.
Three?
Maybe.
Yeah, the capability test is something called Matrigma at Saab, and it's a kind of intelligence test where you do some tasks on a limited
it's a
time.
Logical test.
Yeah. Logical test, and it's quite challenging. And after you've done that, the recruitment personnel or the HR people, they have more data to go with, and they make another assessment and they start calling. So I guess you can expect it after a couple of weeks to a month.
I know that I applied like maybe now, and I got the position in the beginning of June. So all in all, it was a couple of months for me. But that might also be very individual.
Yeah.
Since
2
they
months,
recruit.
maybe.
Yeah, 2 months maybe.
2 months.
Yeah.
The whole process. Yeah.
But of course, since it's a local recruitment process, it might vary.
Yeah. So this year, the positions are mostly for people with a Swedish passport or Korean passport or American passport, but there are also some that have not.
But there are some positions in Sweden that are not only for Swedish citizens, but you need to have a
working permit.
Yeah, exactly.
To work in Sweden.
But there are 2 in the US and 1 in South Korea, right? Positions. Yeah.
And then, as the company is very international, there are many positions where you're gonna get to travel.
Yeah. So we have a small clarification. The application period, as we said before, it will close the 18th of April, and the HR will make the phone call after that.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But you would do the test, the logical test before that. Yeah.
That one you receive directly, I guess.
Exactly. Should we talk a little bit about the assignment abroad, maybe, and how we can? It's different for.
It's relevant
for us as well.
It's very relevant in a company like Saab to make an assignment abroad, since we are a Swedish company, but very global. We have.
We're present in many countries around the globe, and we want to be, and we are a global company. But we have many nationalities represented at Saab, but we're still quite Swedish in a way.
Culture-wise,
But so there are many possibilities, and it's not, for us, it's not definite and decided yet where we're going, but we know more or less. But at least we feel that it was possible to affect where we want to go, and what kind of project we were interested in doing during the assignment abroad.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the one thought about the assignment abroad was that it was supposed to be a longer period, so that you could do a more dedicated task in one specific area, so that you do it in the end of the program when you have gathered so much knowledge, and you can really try and contribute to some kind of project before you start your job.
That's true.
Yeah. But also, yeah. What did you say now?
I said that the assignment abroad is supposed to be a little bit longer, so that you can really try to contribute and settle down with one task instead of jumping around that you may have done earlier.
Yeah.
And for me, I will be involved a little bit in, or I think I will be involved a little bit in the project I will work abroad with, also here at home. So I prepare before I go out.
Yeah, so it feels very relevant for you.
It feels very relevant, yeah.
And for us,
that's a good thing, I think.
It is. But the period is, at least for us, 8 to 12 weeks. And you can decide a little bit if you want to divide it into maybe 2, or if you want to have a longer period. And it's up to you and your manager to decide.
Yeah.
And what's best for the development.
Yeah.
We should also give some, I don't know what it's called, advertisement about the Saab Graduate blog. So if you want to know more about the things we're doing or the things we're experiencing, we have a blog that you can find through the Saab Graduate Leadership Programme website, or through the saab.com site, where we write stories about our experiences, the trips we make, and we try to share some of the good stuff that we've been through.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question about, did you have any experience in leadership before you applied to the program?
Well,
I had some experience from, like you said before, I was involved at university. I was involved in the student union. So I was kind of leading, or what to say, a mentoring association. So that's some leadership experience, I guess.
Yeah. I had some as well. I didn't have a lot, but I worked as a course leader in England the summer before. So I worked for 3 weeks as a course leader for EF, Education First. So that was my prior experience. Did you have any?
I was I was coordinating the reception committee in Chalmers. So 2,000 new students come every year to the university, and they're taken care of by smaller groups in the different programs. But my committee was the group that took care of the overall coordination and the larger events. So yes, I had some experience, but I don't think that it has to be that clear that you have actually tried it. But there are maybe some personality traits that you need to prove when you're doing the interviews, that you have the capability to become a leader, or a change leader, perhaps someone who wants to lead in some way. It doesn't mean that you're a boss or have employees under you. It's more that you have a behavior that you are some kind of role model. That's what I think leadership is about for every individual.
Yeah, and this is really interesting. We touched upon it a little bit before, because you can lead many things.
Yeah, exactly.
Products and people and yourself
and change
and companies.
Yeah,
and,
because we're supposed to be change leaders.
Yeah.
And
that was actually something that I thought about when I applied to the program, because I think it says already in the recruitment process that we are supposed to be change leaders. And I thought, oh my God, I can drive any change in a company when I am completely new there. But actually we can. Because also change is different. But as long as we stand up for our values and the company's values on an everyday basis, and it's we are present and we make the small changes every day. Yeah, that's what's coming.
I think we have some new viewers, so we're just going to once again welcome the ones that are new to the Saab Graduate Leadership Hangout with me, Johannes,
and Ebba,
and Johanna.
And we just want to say that for you who have some detailed questions about your personal recruitment periods or problems that you're experiencing through the recruitment process, you can take it with the contact person that is related to that position that you're applying to. But also you can always write to graduate@saabgroup.com. So make sure that you get your answers, your questions answered, because we will have a general discussion here me and Ebba and Johanna. But sometimes we cannot answer all the questions that you have. We have Philip here who asks us what we studied, so we can take that again, a short. My name is Johannes, and I studied Industrial Engineering and Management in Chalmers University of Technology in Gothenburg.
My name is Ebba. I studied economics in Lund, and then I started my master's degree at Copenhagen Business School in international business. So I have quite a broad background, and I would say I'm a generalist.
We are many engineers in the company, but even if we are two finance people here, I also studied finance in Lund. And I can say something about why I decided to work for Saab. For me, I think it was important with a high-tech company. Once again, even if I'm a finance person, and I think it's so interesting with the innovations we do and the high investments in R&D. And I think last year Saab actually invested 28% of our revenues. I lost the word of our revenues into R&D, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Well,
it's not hard to say that it's the most exciting company in Sweden. Just want to put it out there, you know. No, because I did my master was in innovation management or industry. So I knew that if you want to find the really high tech cool stuff, you go to Saab. And if you want to travel and do cool stuff at the same time, you go to Saab. So that was...
I would say one of the main things for me was the international opportunities. Because we're present in not the whole world, but we're global. So there are so many opportunities to work abroad in the future and to rotate around the world.
But one of the things that we have realized now that we've started working, we knew things before and we thought things about Saab before we started working. But now that I'm here, I'm very happy to know a few new things. Like when I'm at a new office or a new department, learning about what they do there, it's such a great enthusiasm. And each time I'm doing an interview or learning from a colleague there, they're very enthusiastic and they want to teach you about things. So I feel that the energy is great for a new employee to learn more about the company, and that's inspiring as a start for me.
Absolutely,
definitely. And also with all these international opportunities, we can say this is the first year. The program that we are in is the first time it's remade and it's international. And I also would say, because we have had some questions here about working permit and working visa. Actually, I don't know, but that's also maybe because we are in the first year and it will be international going forward.
So it's a change process, and we have things to learn in the organization. But of course, we will take care of the ones that get into the program. Don't worry about that, because there's a whole team dedicated to the graduate program, taking care of us graduates.
But if you have questions like that, you can always send them to graduate@saabgroup.com.
Yes,
of course.
And what's I don't know, what should we talk about? We have met some, even if the graduate program and the international graduate program is quite new. Saab has had trainee program from before. And we have met some of them. And today they are working in various positions and leader positions, and some of them are working abroad, even if they started in Sweden today.
And each of us have one of them as a buddy. So they help us and support us during the program now. And that's really nice as well.
That's good.
So you have like a friend in a similar age who can give you comments on things that you're wondering. But we also have a mentor who is an experienced person who's going to inspire us to help us find the right path in the future. So we have many support functions. And we also have our own manager who takes us through the development journey and helps us find the right courses or the right expertise that we need. So there are many people who want the best for us during the program, so we can focus on developing ourselves. I feel that is also a benefit that I didn't expect or didn't really think about until I realized I really appreciated it.
I agree. What should we focus on now then?
More questions.
If you have any questions, just
just drop any questions you want. If you feel that the discussion is getting boring or that you want to know more things, just write something short.
Yeah.
And we can comment on it.
Should we talk a little bit about Saab and just mention the different business areas we have?
We can do.
So we have aeronautics.
Yes.
Maybe you should say a few words about aeronautics.
We have products flying around.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very overview.
You do the Gripen.
Yeah, Gripen is one of our products. And
the main product.
Yeah, the main product.
Yeah. And then we have electronic defense systems, mainly in Gothenburg.
Yeah.
They do radar systems.
Yes. And then we have Kockums.
Yeah.
Submarines and vessels.
Exactly. And then we have support and services, a big support function.
For all our own products and other products that we haven't even created ourselves.
Yeah. And then we have IPS.
IPS, yes.
Industrial products and
that's exactly because I don't know if you know it, but many of our business we do businesses with governments and countries, but we also do some business to business, and that we have collected in our IPS business area. So we do some parts for big aircrafts, cargo doors and stuff.
So we got a new question here. What did you look forward to the most, and what are you looking forward to the most now? Before I started the program, I was very excited, but I didn't really know what.
No, that's true.
I was also like, what? Because Saab is such a huge company and they do so many different things.
Yeah.
And I think we realize now how little we knew before.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to start a new journey, to start working, to do this graduate program and just develop and learn as much as I could.
Yeah, and in such a short time, you just throw yourself into a new organization that it has so much and just learn. It's so intense, and people are they're there to welcome you, and they know that you're coming. So everyone is excited, not just you yourself. So there's a lot of excitement, and I was excited for that.
Yeah,
and we actually got the question yesterday, and I remember Ebba, you said, every day I wake up and I know that I'm gonna go to work and learn something new.
Yeah, because
that's so true.
And I sleep very well each night.
We're so tired all the time.
Yeah. And what are we looking forward to the most now? I'm looking forward to...
It's a good question.
Yeah, to my next rotation. It's going to be 4 weeks here in Sweden. And then I'm looking forward to the assignment abroad that starts... It's different for us, but maybe starts May, June, in the summer. So that will be exciting to work abroad for a while and to experience a new culture, to meet even more new people.
Exactly.
But it's also a little bit, exciting at the same time as it's scary that the program will one day end, and you're gonna have to step into the organization and have your very clear role where you have done preparations, and one day you're gonna start as it feels as maybe starting as a new employee, but you have all this knowledge that you need to apply. And people and the organization has invested in you, so of course you have expectations on yourself, and the organization has expectations in you, so that's very exciting as well, I would say.
I'm also looking forward to getting a real position after the program and starting to deliver. And of course, we do that now also on an everyday basis, but having your own position and projects.
And becoming part of a team more long term, because when we visit a department for a few 4 to 6 weeks or 8 weeks or anything, we're there as visitors, and we we learn a lot, but we don't have time to be integrated for a longer period. So that's going to be very exciting when you start in the real.
Yeah, I feel the team we're working the most in right now is the graduate team. It's the graduate group, because we can say that we had a project together during this time, during several months, and we had to work with it, individually, but together as a group, and communicate online and
with distance.
Yeah, exactly, because we have, as we said before, 2 in Australia and 1 in South Africa. So.
And that's an international challenge and experience that we have gained, working across borders and stuff.
Yeah.
Learning from each other's.
So there's 2 questions that I've seen we had, and one is that if you're not really ready to apply for the graduate program, but you have further until you're finished with your studies, there was a question if it's possible to do internships or maybe master thesis stuff or summer work, and there are many students we meet in Saab that are doing these kind of things. But then I guess the advice is either to look on the website for positions that are opening, or find the product area that you are determined to work in, and get in touch with them and see if there are solutions for you, because these are kind of individual solutions if you want to find these kind of opportunities. And that's a way that you can prove that you have the drive to become a graduate, if you find your way into the organization through your interests. And the other one was international experience.
Should we start with the international experience prior to the program?
Or prior and during?
Yeah, both.
Yes.
Before and
sure.
Well, I had quite a lot international experience. I studied abroad 3 times, 3 semesters before, and also worked abroad, mainly in France. I've been in France 3 periods, and the US 1 period. And you did?
I studied abroad and in Australia, and now in the program we are, no, sorry. Good.
Okay. I lived in China when I was smaller, and during my educational years, I did exchange years in Belgium. I was in Taiwan, and I also did my practical internship in Mexico, as I said before. And depending on the direction you take inside the organization, there will be chances to go traveling or do tasks that are outside of the company.
But you have been traveling.
Yes,
You've been doing some traveling already in the program last week.
Because maybe you saw the video for this hangout was when I was in Norway, and that was because I was doing a rotation inside what's called a market area. We have different market areas spread out across the globe, where we have personnel working to learn the markets and to make business there. So I was in the Nordic and Baltic region, so I got to visit Norway and Poland, and I also had a short visit in Belgium before the bad stuff happened, or the sad stuff.
Oh yeah, and that was not part of the assignment abroad. That was part of your individual program.
Yes.
We have another colleague, Anna. She is working with the radar systems, and she's working a lot towards Korea, and are in South Korea.
Which you can read on the graduate blog, by the way.
That was something that I was going to say. You shouldn't miss out the blog post she wrote about her experience visiting and working in South Korea.
Yeah. And we will experience a lot of exciting things these upcoming weeks. So you should definitely read the blog.
I think we can tell them about the team week that we're going to have very soon.
Yeah, I think so as well.
You tell them.
Okay. Most of the team weeks are in Sweden, but the next team week will be in South Africa. So all 10 of us will actually go to South Africa, and we will have a team week there together.
Where we will learn about the different offices that they have there and the functions that are being developed there, or the markets they're looking into. And learn about culture, how to work in this culture, and what's the difference between the Swedish culture and the South African culture. So that is something that we're really excited towards.
It will be so nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there, as we said before, we do have one of the graduates there.
Yeah.
So she can
Yeah.
tell us more things, and we can learn things more quickly because she knows us already.
Which is very good. But so
Common
we have
generation.
more or less 10 minutes left. So
And many questions coming in now.
ask questions if you...
Okay,
Okay.
there's one question. Do you have anything to say to the coming generation?
To the coming generation.
I guess you mean the
new.
12 new people. And I guess it's going to be lots of fun to meet you guys and to be your buddies and to help you through this development.
Yeah. And
do your best to apply and to show who you are and why you really have the drive for this organization.
And we will be here and try to support you as much as we can.
Yes.
Um,
Should we also say maybe, because we haven't been abroad yet, but we are hopefully going to go to the US to work with some implementation of new regulations or something that is relevant for the finance organization. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah,
for us.
that will be very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Because there are projects in most regions of the world. So if you have a preference or you have some kind of experiences or skills in some region, that kind of knowledge will be valuable in Saab. And if you feel that even though me, Ebba, and Johanna don't have your background, or we don't feel like we're similar to you guys, Saab has a place for everyone. And it's such a big company with so many different functions that you will find your place somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part, I think.
Yeah, and it feels like, for me right now, I can stay at Saab for so long time. There's so many different things.
Thanks, Saddam, for the comment.
There's so many different functions and business areas, and so I see a bright future here, and that is also really nice to feel that I'm doing this program now, and I want to stay here.
One thing I've noticed while meeting people here is that many people have worked here for a long time, many years, and
sometimes 40 years.
Yeah, maybe
More.
even
More,
40 years, their whole career, and that's actually a really good thing, I would say. Because that means that Saab is taking care of their employees, and also that there are so many opportunities for internal rotations. You can apply for a job at a different business area or within a different field and change your career path completely. And that's really good, I think.
Because some of those people that I've spoken to that have worked for 30 years, 20 years, 40 years, they still say that they have changed. Some of them have changed job every 3 years, but inside the organization. So it feels like they have changed companies, but they have actually stayed in the same group. And
that's good with the graduate program, because then you get to see all these amazing opportunities and where you want to work in the future.
And one thing I like to say to the next generation guys and girls, it's like it's gonna be fun for us to be not the youngest and to be a bit cool that we know stuff.
Yeah.
Because usually we are the inexperienced ones.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Totally.
It works, and it's gonna be fun for us to teach you something. And I hope that we've taught you at least something about the process and the graduate program today. And we're really happy that those of you who have been through this conference with us have been happy with it. And we have some more minutes for questions.
Should we tell them our age?
Yeah, I already said my age. I'm 26 years old in April. Yes. Or in the end of April. Sorry.
I'm also 26.
And I'm 28.
And we have people that are a few years
from
younger
24,
than us in the program,
Yeah, from 24 to 31.
Yeah,
maybe.
so age is not a criteria, but it differs. So don't think about that
welcome
when you apply.
Okay. Will this be available on the Saab YouTube channel later? Yes.
Yes,
so
it will.
That's cool. So if you want to see us many times more saying the same smart things, you can look at this this hangout on a YouTube video, on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can also email graduate@saabgroup.com or the contact persons for each position.
So if you have any questions, just don't hesitate, just send them. And
and there are also contact persons for each contact person for each
Each
position.
position, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And don't forget, 18th of April
yeah.
It's the deadline.
is
Yeah.
the deadline for the positions, and read the our blog,
Yeah.
the graduate blog.
Maybe we should say some final tips for the recruitment process. Well,
That's
I'm
a good thing.
thinking
That's a
be
good thing.
personal, because that's,
Dare to be personal.
yeah, you got to be personal, because
And
there should
yourself.
be a match between you and Saab and you and the recruiting manager.
Okay, Karin is very excited, and we're excited too, and I think more people
That's
are
good.
Yeah.
excited. So
We
you have to
hope
do your
so.
best. It's a lot of competition.
Yeah, but nice to hear.
Glad to hear so.
And hopefully we will be colleagues soon.
So be yourself for the program. Think about what you want.
Yeah, and cover letter, say who you are, why you, and why do you want to work at Saab.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
what is special about you, and what kind of drive do you have? I think you should show the things you really care about, because I think passion is a strong word that you need to show, and because passion can get you far.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have this experience, or you haven't been abroad, or you haven't been a leader, if you have passion towards something, or the drive, Saab will believe in you, because that's a personality trait that I think is appreciated.
Yeah.
And like you said that everyone is needed, or what to say, we need a lot of different personalities here.
Yeah, because the graduate group this year, we complement each other, because
do.
we're all different, I would say. And that's very good. That's been good for our development, our projects that we've done.
One thing we didn't say is that we do have most of the time individually, with individual tasks in the departments we're visiting, but we also had one task together as a group to solve something as a new group of new recruits, and that was a good learning experience. And it was good for us to become a team as well. So that was a task that lived for more than 3 months, 3 or 4 months, and you can expect things like that if you're a graduate also.
I'm sure you will get a task to work on together. And we actually presented our results for top management team. So
you get exposure to very
exactly.
experienced people in the organization.
They are interested
Learn
and
a
want
lot.
to.
Yeah, who have we met, Ebba?
Well,
Or Johan, I don't know.
no, but it was really nice, because we during one of the team weeks we met with the CEO, and I had a moment there with him and could ask questions, and so
and that shows that really shows the commitment to the program from all levels within the company. So
and in general, the recruiting managers are quite senior.
Yes.
And that is also nice.
They have experience that you get to learn from and take part of in a way. So it's very good.
And can help you too.
So there's actually too much fun to do in the limited time that you are a graduate. But also lots of challenges. But all in all, I'm happy. And I think
I'm also very happy.
Me too.
I had very high expectations when I applied for the graduate program, and I'm excited to say that they are met and
far above.
Far above.
Far above,
It's really exciting.
When I talk to my friends, we talk about our jobs, and I just say I love my job, and they all say, "Oh, that's so nice." But it's true.
So, exactly.
I hope you have gotten the inspiration that we wanted to give you, and that you have some more clarity towards the program, and that you know where to look for more information.
So if you have any more questions, send them to graduate@saabgroup.com. And don't hesitate to apply for the program before the 18th of April.
Don't be scared to apply. I mean, of course, it's high stakes and it's competition, and
there is a lot of applicants, but you can make it.
It's totally worth it.
That's what we want to say, and
take a look at our graduate blog.
Good one. Okay, So thanks, guys, and hope to see you
thanks a
soon in the future.
Yeah.
And,
Thanks for attending. And,
Thank you.
And
see ya.
see ya.
See
Apply
ya.
for Saab. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.